Have you ever noticed your serving power drop off as the matches progress? Or perhaps you've noticed that your movement becomes more sluggish towards the end of matches? If you have, the chances are this isn't solely to do with your fitness or your technique. It could also be to do with how you're fueling your body. Let me show you something that might surprise you. Here's my serve with normal movement and rotation. Now I'm going to attempt to hit the same serve whilst holding this 10 kg kettlebell. And this represents the additional weight that many tennis players are holding that they don't need to. Here we go. Did you notice how much harder it is for me to generate power whilst holding the additional weight? It slows down my arm speed, limits my rotation and makes it harder for me to time the ball. Also, as I land from my serve, holding all this additional weight places a lot of strain on my joints. When you optimize your body composition through proper nutrition, it's like putting this kettlebell down. Now all of a sudden, you've got better mobility, you can last longer in matches, and you have more energy, not just on the court, but also in your day-to-day life. Let me share with you 3 key nutrition principles that will directly impact your tennis performance. Number 1 is how you fuel your body. If you want to maximize the speed of your serve and improve your capacity to run around the court, carbohydrates are going to be your main source of fuel. Carbohydrates are broken down and stored as glycogen within your muscles. And when these glycogen stores run low, this is what causes you to feel fatigued and for your serving power to drop. So if you're someone who's noticed that your serves are a lot slower in the final set compared to the first, this is likely not a technical issue, but an issue to do with your energy levels due to inadequate nutrition. To fuel yourself properly before your match or training session, you should eat a high carb meal 2 to 3 hours before you step onto court. Think sweet potatoes, brown rice, and whole grains, because these more complex carbohydrates will provide you with sustained energy throughout your time on court, compared to refined carbohydrates such as bread, white pasta and white rice. You should keep easily digestible carbs such as bananas, energy gels and sports drinks in your bag and consume them during change of ends during your matches. This is crucial because there's a 20 to 30 minute lag between eating and when this energy becomes available to the body. So if you've already waited for your energy levels to be depleted before you take on any food, it's already too late and your performance is likely to be compromised. If you want to move faster around the court and reduce the stress and strain that tennis places on your joints, then managing your body composition is crucial. But where most tennis players go wrong is that they follow really aggressive and unsustainable diets. The key is simpler but often misunderstood. You need to create a moderate, sustainable calorie deficit of around 500 calories below your maintenance. Your maintenance calories are simply the number of calories you need to eat daily to maintain your current body weight. For most active tennis players, this is somewhere between 2,000 to 3,000 calories, depending on your age, gender, and activity levels. By eating 500 calories below this number, you'll create a moderate calorie deficit, which will lead to fat loss without sacrificing your performance. The key is simple food tracking to make sure you're on target. And this doesn't mean that you have to weigh every gram of food, it just means that you need to be aware of your food intake to make sure that you're in that consistent calorie deficit. The focus should be on losing fat whilst preserving muscle. And this is critical for tennis players because when we get into a calorie deficit, the body's going to try and shred both muscle and fat. But it's the fat we're trying to lose because that's the thing that's going to be slowing us down. By maintaining protein intake and continuing resistance training, that will signal to the body to preserve muscle and preferentially use fat stores as fuel for your exercise. Muscle preservation is the 3rd key principle. When it comes to body recomposition, many tennis players sacrifice their muscle, and this has huge detrimental effects on their performance. To maintain your power whilst optimizing your body composition, aim for a daily protein intake of between 1.6 grams to 2 grams of protein per kilogram of your body weight. This will provide the building blocks that your muscles need to maintain and repair themselves, particularly during a calorie deficit. The key is to design your approach around your food preferences and your schedule, and not someone else's perfect plan. Because the perfect nutrition plan is one that you can actually stick to and do consistently over the long term. The Court Fit Nutrition method addresses all of these principles by emphasizing protein-rich foods that you actually enjoy, by strategically placing carbohydrates before your tennis matches to ensure that you've got adequate energy for when you're on court, and by adjusting portion sizes rather than making you eliminate all your favorite foods. When you integrate this approach with the mobility and strength work that we've covered so far in this challenge, you'll create the ideal body composition